Hi, this is Yeho. I'm a option trader. Today is March 4th, 2026. It's 4:30 p.m. in Japan. And today I want to do quick market recap and then talk a little bit about the Iran situation. First, the market. The Nikkei closed at 54246 yen, down about 2,000 yen today, after hitting 16,000 yen. The market has fallen around 5,000 to 6,000 points very quickly. So fear is clearly growing in the market. At the same time, the volatility index jumped to 53.05 today. That's huge move. Volatility increased by more than 20 points, maybe around 23 or 24 points. So the market is definitely in a very nervous state right now. But at the same time, we should remember something. The rally before this was extremely long. Actually, one of the longest rally in the recent history. So this decline is not completely surprising. Personally, I think we might see some kind of the technical rebound soon. Of course, we still need to be careful, but when volatility goes above 15, that's already very extremely level. And after such a sharp drop, market often bounce a little. So that's something I'm watching. Now, let's talk about Iran. The Iran issue has suddenly become a big topic in the market. Of course, Iran tensions are not new. We heard about Hormuz Strait risk many times before. But this might be the first time the market is really pricing it seriously. Iran produces a lot of sour crude oil, and China buys a large amount of it. So in my view, this situation is basically part of the US-China rivalry, but there is another layer here, and that layer is AI. China has been using rare earth minerals as a geopolitical card, and they signal that they might restrict exports. Rare earths are critical for many technologies, especially AI and advanced electronics. So China is trying to use rare earths as a leverage, and I think the pressure on Iran might be kind of the counter move by the United States. Because if China can do two things at the same time, secure rare earth supply and stockpile oil from Iran, then China becomes stronger both technologically and militarily. And if China secure enough energy, it also increases the possibility of something like a Taiwan operation in the future. From the US perspective, the strategy could be simple: cut the oil. Historically, energy restrictions have always been a powerful geopolitical weapon. In fact, Japan experienced this before the World War II. Oil embargoes can change the balance of the power. So targeting Iran can serve multiple purposes. It can reduce China's access to energy, and it prevents China from controlling both rare earths and oil at the same time. But this also brings another important issue: the Strait of Hormuz. Uh, for Japan, Hormuz is extremely important. It's basically Japan's energy lifeline. Japan still imports a large portion of its energy from the Middle East. So if the Iran situation is correct and the Strait of Hormuz become unstable, Japan's energy security becomes a serious concern. That's probably why Japan is also discussing these things like restarting nuclear power plants and stretching energy security. But there is another interesting angle. This situation could actually be strategically useful for the United States. Because if Middle Eastern energy becomes unstable, the US can say, Japan, why don't you buy more American shale energy? And at the same time, Japan has something very valuable in the future. There are resources near retrenchment. According to government research, Japan may start producing the earth mineral at the scale around 2030 to 2032. So image this situation. Japan supplies the earth mineral, the US supplies share energy. That's going to create a new type of US-Japan energy alliance. The US wants Japan firmly on its side. So, from that perspective, pressure on Iran can achieve several goals at once. It pressures China, it reshapes energy flows, and it strengthens US-Japan cooperation. More broadly, I think we are seeing a shift in geopolitics. During the globalization, the key factor is cheaper labor. That's how China grew so quickly. Factory moved to place with cheaper workers, but in the AI era, the key resources are different. Now, what matters most energy and strategic mineral. So, geopolitics is shifting from the ladder geopolitics to resource geopolitics for AI. And I don't think this will be a one-time event. This could continue for the next 6 or 7 years until around early 2030s, when Japan's rare earth production may start. So tensions around the Middle East, China, and the energy supply could become the kind of a new normal for markets. And the environment or industry becomes a very important space. When geopolitical risk increase, the countries invest heavily in things like satellite and communication network and surveillance space research. So I believe the next several years could be a major era for the space industry. Some companies will succeed, some will fail, but the overall trend is clear. Finally, back to the market. In the short term, this drop might not be pure panic, but Japan had a strong rallies in the market US recently. So the correction in Japan is larger. The US market has not fallen as much. That's why I think we could see a rebound at some point. But of course, we need to watch the situation carefully. That's all for today. If you like this kind of analysis, please follow the podcast. You can think of it like going a little bit option on my contents. See you tomorrow.